guys on a little journey, try out a right-hand drive vehicle, and let you know exactly how it goes for me.
Oh yeah, no, I finished mine. What I have to say.
I have an Audi A3 rental car with a 6-speed manual, and it's driving on the right-hand side and driving on the left-hand side of the road. I'm gonna let you know how this is for experience-wise for those of you who are interested in getting like a JDM vehicle. Give you my perspective, not on the car, but on driving on the right-hand side. I've always personally been interested in getting a right-hand drive vehicle in the States. It is absolutely terrifying to drive on the roads here. It's terrifying from a perspective of the roads, not necessarily a perspective of driving this thing. The hardest thing for me is looking up and to the left on my rearview mirror. My brain does not want to do that. Also, that mirror over there, this mirror here is no problem. For some reason, that one is just fine. Older JDM vehicles are not going to have backup cameras. So this particular car obviously is a newer car. It has a backup camera, but that would certainly help the experience of backing up in a tight parking spot like this. What I've noticed is I tend to look in this mirror over here, and very weird to back up. I am watching that backup camera and relying on it. If I was to get a JDM vehicle, I'd probably get a backup camera. Getting passed by lots of people. The shifter is not a big deal. I would get used to that really quick, but the mirrors are the weirdest thing. I can't explain it. Your brain really gets programmed after, especially after 30 years of driving the other way. Your brain is totally programmed to look to the right, mostly. Now I have to look to the left. From a proximity standpoint, your left side of the vehicle feels very vulnerable when you first start out. You feel like you're gonna hit it on everything, and it's really hard to get your bearings in the left front corner there. Now on JDM vehicles, you may not have all the bells and whistles and traction control and everything, so you're gonna have to watch it when you first start out. This car here in particular has a lot of those safety features that, like lane departure brings you back. You're driving some Skyline or some crazy JDM vehicle. When you first start out, it may be even more difficult for you. This thing's got to be turbo. It's very laggy. It does make me appreciate the supercharged GS. It's waiting for me in the airport parking lot, hopefully. I would allow yourself plenty of time if you're going to pick up your vehicle and drive it home from a JDM importer and it's a significant drive. Allow yourself, oh boy, big puddle. Hang on. Woo. Allow yourself lots of time to drive that car home. There is a cool factor for the right-hand drive because you won't really see that around you in the US. Whenever I see a right-hand drive JDM car, not only do I think the car is cool, but then I see it's on the right-hand side, and I think that's pretty cool too. Now on a right-hand drive vehicle in the US, you're gonna really have to get used to looking at the mirror that's on your far side there if you're gonna be driving down roads where people are gonna pass. And that's gonna be strange. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're just cruising and people are passing, and then you wanna pass, you're gonna really need to train your brain to look to the left mirror and make sure no one's coming. That'll be weird because I'm not using that left-hand side mirror very much. And I've been driving this car for about a week and I still don't look over there. For some of you younger guys and gals, if you get a JDM vehicle, you're probably gonna be able to pick it up real quick because you haven't been driving like me for 30 years. And trucks are really fun like this one. Oh boy, yo. For those of you who have driven a right-hand drive vehicle who normally drive a left-hand drive, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if you also experience that same thing. You really gotta look across your vehicle. Looking across your vehicle opposite of what you normally do is very strange. Blind spot checking is weird because you're used to blind spot checking in a certain way and turning your head a certain way. Now you got to do it the opposite. In Ireland, they have these types of setups where there's no flaggers. This one has a timer counting down from 40 seconds right now. This is the first one I've seen, but basically they're unmanned lane closures that control traffic. They're placing quite a bit of trust in an electronic system, unlike places like the US where you actually have a person doing it. Here we go. Got passed for the third time, which is unprecedented. In the US, I rarely get passed. I'm usually doing the passing. There he goes again. That side is very vulnerable. That's the best way I can describe it on a right-hand drive vehicle. The left side of your vehicle feels very vulnerable to contact, so you gotta be pretty careful with it. This is fun. Yeah, I'm going third. You will also notice the wipers are going opposite of what they do, at least in my GS. That sounds funny, but it is, your brain is seeing that and saying that's not right. After a certain period of time, if you daily drive your JDM or right-hand drive vehicle, you'll get used to it. But as a left-hand drive person all my life, even the wipers is a bit strange. Oh, I really don't like this. Oh, I hate how they park in the street here. I really do.
In 1,000 feet at Sandy Street roundabout, take the first exit onto Trevor Hill.
So I'm trying to get on the first towards Dublin.
Exit the roundabout onto the ramp. Oh,
that's so weird to go to the left. Okay, getting on the highway. Come on, Audi. So speed limit is 120 kilometers. And the fast lane is on the right here. So I will be staying to the left. So weird.
Continue on I-1 for 3 miles.
Fifth gear and sixth gear. From a highway perspective, now that I'm going 70 miles per hour or 120 kilometers per hour, I would say that that's easy. No problem there. If you're going to get a right-hand drive vehicle, you'll have no issue. You will need to get used to the mirrors. In the US, you will be driving on the right-hand side or opposite of what you see here. If you're in the slow lane, which would be on the right in the US, you would need to look across to your mirror to change lanes. That's really what you're going to have to get used to. If you do get a right-hand drive vehicle, there's going to be a steep learning curve in my opinion. Definitely go out and get that experience if you plan to daily drive. Let's get over. I'm looking in my right mirror there. So weird. Back to the mirrors. I probably have said that 4,000 times during this episode, and I apologize for that, but if you really want a right-hand drive vehicle, you're going to have to absolutely get used to that weirdness. If you enjoyed the episode, it's a little bit different, I know, but I wanted to give you a perspective of driving a right-hand drive vehicle prior to you possibly importing one or your consideration of importing one. I highly recommend that you drive one before you actually buy one. It's not as easy as you might think. You might actually not enjoy it, especially if you're going to daily drive the car. If it's going to be a weekend cruiser or a car show vehicle or a cars and coffee vehicle, I don't think it'd be a problem. But if you're going to daily drive a right-hand drive vehicle in the US or similar, make sure that you drive one and get used to it. If you like this episode, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. drop a like, drop a comment. Thanks for joining me on this somewhat unique episode. I'll see you on the next one.